get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always, getting ready to do this thing like it's supposed to be done. Want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. Man, we got a whole lot to talk about. There's a whole lot going on out there on the internet and the social media sphere. So Bradley, before we, how you feel, man? How you feel?
Feeling good, Book. Coming off a great weekend. Last night, me and the missus and my sister-in-law went and saw Chris Tucker.
How was that, man? How was that? Was he funny?
He's still funny, man.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of his jokes are like, same way Cat Williams is funny. Like some of the stuff they say is funny, but it's really how they say the jokes.
Yeah. And how
their voice and their delivery and their inflection. But Chris Tucker still got it, man. And he said that he's officially paid off the IRS. So you know what? Awesome. Congratulations.
Awesome. It seemed like all that Friday residual money, he should have been able to pay that off.
Why think they started talking about Rush Hour 4? They're like, I gotta get this money paid, man. I looked it up, and I'm not trying to put his business out there, but it's public information. He owned like $9 million.
What the hell was he thinking? Well, I mean, he just didn't pay taxes for like 5 years.
He said he had a bad accountant.
And the accountant, stole his money?
I don't know if just the accountant didn't file stuff the right way or didn't account for everything. I don't know. But he said he had a bad account. You know what I mean? But look, he's all paid up with the tax, man. That's good. So congratulations to him.
Man, I got audited one time by the government. And, man, I was scared, bro. I was scared. Even though I had been paying my taxes and everything, but I know how there again, you might have your accountant and you trust that accountant. I mean, Donald Trump right now, he's in a lot of trouble because he said he trusted his accountant. And I remember my accountant had to go through a lot of jargon, back and forth and whatnot. And came back, I was clear. I was like, man, thank God, man. Thank God I got past that. Because I'm sure if you go through that one time and you get flagged, I'm sure they're going to be doing it periodically.
Sure.
Yeah.
You got to stay squeaky clean.
Yeah, crazy.
You know what I mean? Well, my thing with the IRS or taxes, like I want to pay everything I need to, but not a penny more. Right?
Well, no, I don't do that. I mean, sometimes I just go ahead and pay a little extra because I know I'm going to get it back.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But I'm saying you pay everything that you owe. You know what I mean? Everything that you're supposed to owe, you pay it in. You know what I mean? And hopefully you get a return back or, you're even, you break even or whatever. I ain't going to
start talking about how I do my taxes.
Let's not. Let's move the subject. Let's switch the subject.
Because the government, Keefy D just got arrested, from doing shows, just like this Keefy D allegedly, the murder of Tupac Shakur, the ringleader, the mastermind behind that whole thing. So, man, hey, zip it.
But congratulations to Chris Tucker, and it was a great show. Yeah, great show, man. He was really funny, man.
I was watching Martin. He's back out there too, doing stand up, and I swear, bro, just a little clip I saw, he didn't look funny at all. I swear to God, he looked like brother looked like he just back out there trying to make a little scratch, like doing an independent, here and there and whatnot. But I was like, only thing that was funny was his eyes. His eyes was buck wide open, like he had been, doing some, cocaine. Speaking of cocaine, the NWA is in the news about a skit that went down on their programming, and it was actually had something to do with cocaine. I was reading that on the internet, and I kind of like brushed it off because I could see something like that happening. With one of these companies thinking that's cool, thinking people gonna buy into it. We're changing, everything's accepted now. I can see something like that happening. But, I know you had brought it up. What was the full rundown on that?
So, again, this was from the NWA pay-per-view that they had about a week or so ago. And there was a spot in the show where James Mitchell was shown at a table with a bunch of the boys and girls or whatever, and they were all drinking alcohol, and then like at the table they were snorting coke. allegedly.
Did you actually see it?
Give it, yeah. You see what they're doing
Wow.
in the spot. I was trying to see if I could pull it up and show the clip, but maybe that might get us demonetized. I don't know.
Yeah, it might.
But I mean, and again, like you understood what was going on in the clip, and you see it or whatever, and one of the women was snorting it or what have you. And then obviously they just announced, or there was rumors or reports that they were going to be entering into a national TV deal, the NWA with the CW network, an affiliate, a network around the country owned by Nexstar, which obviously Reality Wrestling is on the Houston and Dallas affiliate of. And
Yes.
and now they were saying that deal might be in jeopardy. House of Wrestling reported that CW officials were not happy with that in light of their new deal that was set to bring both NWA Power and a reality television show to the network. The outlet reported that there's a quote 90% chance, end quote, both shows will now air on the CW's app versus the broadcast network as a result, due to the network receiving negative social media comments after the segment.
Hey, man, you got to know. Being a promoter is not easy. Putting on shows is not easy. Trying to fit into what's going on now. I always talk about, if you don't know how to change with the times pass you by. Everything now is like shock TV. It's just like jumping off something and taking a bump. And the fans going, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Everybody's looking for that instant coffee, that one thing that's going to make their show pop. More so than the next show. But what city was that in?
I don't know what city they did that in. Actually, let me.
Well, I just want to let just in case CW is listening, we got a small little show called Reality Wrestling that would love that spot, and we ain't doing no cocaine angles.
None.
How about that?
NWA Sam Hain. Sam Hain. Where's Sam Hain? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know.
SAMHAIN. I'm sure it's a city somewhere. But yeah, I mean the spot literally. And here's the thing that I thought about it when I first read the comment. I'm like, well, that was stupid. And then when I looked into it more and I saw the clip, and then I saw the clip and I thought, wait a minute. Nobody said, hey guys, this might not be a good idea. James Mitchell, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about him other than he's been in the wrestling business for a long time. And I'm sure at some point he might have had that inkling of that spidey sense tingling of, hey, maybe this isn't a bad idea. And I thought for sure, Book, that Billy Corgan, who owns the NWA, might have said, hey, look, guys, we got some corporate deals in place. I don't think this is a good idea. But in the same report that I was reading from earlier, this also stand out. The outlet, being House of Wrestling, reported that the cocaine spot was the idea of NWA owner Billy Corgan, who pushed for it to be on the pay-per-view. Yeah.
I don't know Billy Corgan personally or anything like that, but for him to want to push an angle like that makes me think that he haven't been that far removed from, partaking, in an angle like that once or twice.
Or seeing it. I mean, he is a rock star. So I'm sure that's been at a many
yeah, but look here, bro. You ain't gonna want to do an angle like that if you haven't partake here and now, once and again, time and time. You're just not, because me personally, I'm never gonna do a cocaine angle. Okay, just because I'm like, wait a minute, bro. I've been around, people that have done cocaine. I've seen the effects of what cocaine can do to you,
Sure.
especially a crack cocaine. I've seen it break individuals, people that you would never think in a million years. Take one hit, boom. And so for me, I know I'm not going to be doing that kind of an angle. But for the person to want to do that, have had to, been around it, seen it, maybe have done it, and know the effects of it. It makes you feel good. And I've said that about drugs. I remember I've told you the story about me going to the hospital and getting Dilaudid, in the drip, and I had a hallucination to where I felt like I was playing in the PGA in one of the major golf tournaments. Hit a beautiful shot. The sky was a beautiful bright blue. The sun was shining, and I woke up, and Charmel was sitting there, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? It was a dream. And I told that doctor, please, doc, never give me that ever again. So I know the fact if it's good and you like it, hey, you have no problem with it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I understand. Now we'll say just, alleged, we're making alleged comments. We're talking in the hypothetical. That's called CYA. But I just was really, though, just surprised that they went through with this. Now, to your point, yeah, you would never do a cocaine angle, because I remember, all hell broke loose when somebody spit one time at the show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you weren't okay with a spit angle. I can't imagine if somebody pitched the cocaine angle to you in the office, what would have happened?
Yeah. There again, I'm conscious of not just, what I like, but perhaps what other people might like, as well as, a spitting angle. It might be cool at, a ECW show, where the fans are off into gore and whatnot, blood, whatnot. But for me, I am catering to a certain audience, and I got to make sure I stay inside the guidelines of, the television rights and whatnot, just because I don't want to lose my spot. I don't want to have any problems with the network. So that's the first thing that I'm thinking about as a promoter. Even a small independent company like Reality of Wrestling, even having, being on, CW from a smaller scale, that's the first thing that I'm thinking about when we put together a show, is whether they're going to like it or not. It just seemed like the first thing you should be, or if they're going to approve on something or not. And of course, rules are to be bent. Sometimes you try to push the envelope a little bit further. Just like, say, for instance, with the girls. So I get it, but sometimes seems like you would think a little bit better in a situation like that.
Yeah.
We got to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Got a big show going down, Reality of Wrestling, this weekend, November 11th, right there at the Booker T. What do we call an arena these days?
I don't know. You haven't really named it properly.
We're still waiting on the big LED sign to come in, so we can just call it whatever we want, whenever we want to do it. We might just put a different name on it every week until we get one of the, look here, until we get one of those big Coca-Cola sponsors that want to put some up there, Coca-Cola, theater, something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, hey. I'm just throwing a little line out there. Hopefully we'll get a bite. So guys, if you're anywhere in the Texas City surrounding area, it's going down 7 o'clock bell time. I will be there. The main event, special attraction match, the Underground King, the Bounty Hunter, Brian Keith, one of Reality of Wrestling's finest, is going to be taking on the amazing Kenny King in the main event, guys. So come on out and check it out. That match is just going to be for bragging rights more than anything. It's going to be about who is the better man, as well as the card is going to be stacked. And there again, your boy, 5-time champ, he will be in the house.
If you don't get shown the door like last time.
Yeah. That's true too.
How's that injunction going? I heard you filed an injunction against Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah, I actually I can't talk about it
Okay.
because it is still in litigation.
Pending litigation.
Yeah. So soon as everything go down, I can tell you this right now. I'm real happy. I feel real good about the case, and I got a hell of a lawyer. I got a hell of a lawyer on the case. His name's Walker, Texas lawyer, taking care of business down here in Houston, Texas. So guys, if you see Walker, hit your horn for him one time.
Hey, Book, you know what? I know obviously we don't venture off into politics or anything on the show, but I do want to encourage everybody tomorrow, if you're in the Houston area and you want to exercise, your right to go out and vote. There's a lot of big elections happening in the city and, countrywide. It is an election day. So make sure, you go out there. You can't change it. You got to play the game to change the game. J. Cole said that on his album one time, and I really believe that. You got to play the game to change the game. So, step up and go out there and do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Although, Sheila Jackson Lee was at the Chris Tucker concert. She got up on stage, did a little speech or what have you, and made her presence felt. Did you hear the thing with Sheila Jackson Lee? Did you hear that recording that came out?
No.
The where she was cussing, allegedly. I don't know if it was really her. They say it's her, but it's alleged, where she's cussing out her like staff.
Sometimes you got to motivate them.
I was about to say, it made me like her more. I think they thought it was gonna. I think they thought it was gonna be like a hit piece. But I was like, man, she seemed real as hell.
If somebody see me, when I don't really, think the camera's is rolling, you might hear me say some crazy stuff. You might see some stuff that you go, wow, man. But sometimes to get your team motivated, you gotta go the extra mile. They gotta feel it. They just can't see it. They gotta know you're just as passionate about what's going on above everybody. I talk about that as far as my school go. I say, if somebody sees something on the floor and they don't pick it up, they got a problem with me, because I know if I see it on the floor, I'm going to pick it up. You know what I mean? I'm going to make sure that's just something that's just in me. So I need everybody on my team working just as hard. And bro, look at Deion Sanders. I mean, he's the same way. He's going to push those kids as hard as he can push them. You know what I mean? It's just like that. In every form of life, I think, if you got a leader is somebody that's going to lead. And they're going to lead by example, because they're not telling you anything that they wouldn't do themselves.
And here's the thing, and this is by no way a political endorsement of any kind, but, there's a fine line between, like, as you said, motivating and bullying, right? Sometimes, you could go too far. But to me, like, if I make a mistake and it's an important mistake and I really screw something up, and my boss comes to me or who's ever leading the event or whatever and says, hey, Brad, it's okay, man. Don't get down on yourself. Just do better next time. You're going to be okay. Don't let it happen again. Maybe I'm not going to feel the effects of that screw up as much as if somebody came at me like this recording of Sheila Jackson Lee was like, hey, don't be a dumb MF, right?
Yeah.
Don't F it up. Or whomever might say it. I'm not just saying her in particular. Whoever might say it. I think sometimes that help, in my opinion, that can help build character. I'm not saying that that you should always go that way, but sometimes people need to know that they messed up.
Yeah. And on top of that, though, just to piggyback over that, I mean, Sheila Jackson Lee has been doing so much work in the city of Houston for so long. She's been doing good work in the city of Houston. And if I could endorse anybody in this race, it would be Sheila Jackson Lee, because I know she's going to do the right thing. Not for her. She's going to do the right thing for the city. So hopefully Sheila Jackson Lee see and hear this. And if you need me to help you in any way, shape, form, fashion, boom, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Well, that it's likely, as most mayoral races do in Houston, going to go to a runoff sometime in December. If history is any judge of that. So we'll see what happens. But what I would like for people to do, whoever the next mayor is in the city of Houston, you can back me up on this. There's no reason why we shouldn't be an entertainment capital, especially in the South. You have New York, you have LA, but by this time next year, we're going to be the third largest city by population in the United States. Houston is. Why aren't we a major entertainment capital? We don't need to just be oil and gas.
You know what? I think, we're an oil and gas type of state, really. I think that's the only thing we really focus on is the trivial things, like fighting each other. I really believe that's one of the reasons why this city has been held back from being exactly, what you're talking about. And I say that, man, because I'm going to tell you right now. I was on my way down to Galveston Beach on Saturday. All right. And I just want to get away. Going down, and I say, man, let me hang out, and saw so many bikers going down there, right?
Lone Star Rally.
Yeah, Lone Star Rally. I mean, it was black bikers, white guys. It was a smorgasbord. And I say, man, something's bad gonna happen here before I leave. And 5 people got shot
at the Lone Star Rally.
Yes.
Oh my God, I did not hear that.
5 people got shot, and I was like, when you got and it was I don't know, several different groups as far as, I don't know, what do they call themselves? Biker gangs, or what do they call themselves?
Biker clubs?
Clubs, yeah, biker clubs. And they had several different clubs, right? Now, this is what I'm thinking. You got all of these different clubs and all of these people are in a group, all right? This group, this group, this group, this group. Now, this group thinks the same. This group thinks the same. This group thinks the same. And you got all of that. None of that. Nothing good can come out of that. Nothing. You know what I mean? And there again, I'm not against people that want to vote for Trump or anything like that. But when you see the flags, flying, and it's and then you see the derogatory terms, and it's like, why do you want people to see that you're a part of? Not that that's not who you want to vote for. Voting always used to be a thing that we did, in silent. Because
in
the booth, because I don't want to offend you, and you don't want to offend me, and we might be friends. We might be the best of friends, and I just do not know why people want to be so divided these days and pick a side. There's no way Houston will be an entertainment capital because people are thinking about the wrong damn things in the state of Texas. That's why.
Well, in the state, sure. And that could be argued. But in the city, the city of Houston, we could I feel like with the right leadership, we could do something. Now, and I'll be honest with you, look, I don't know a lot about.
Tell me this. You don't think Sylvester Turner tried to do as much as he can as far as try to make this city looked upon as being entertaining?
No, I do. Yeah. I think he tried.
Exactly my point. No one person can do it by themselves.
No. Yeah. It's got to be a coalition.
It's going to take a collaboration, a coalition, not just the city of Houston, but the whole state of Texas have to have that mindset. That's why we're so far behind on legalizing marijuana, just because we want to still lock up people for having marijuana, just because that's money that's going out of the state's pocket. That's what I'm talking about. Until we can change our mindset, this state and this city is always going to be looking up to cities like LA and New York City.
I don't disagree. I think a lot of times some of the states, and ours included, can focus and get bogged down into too many wedge issues when entertainment is something that we can all get behind. You know what the beauty, whenever somebody asks me, like, what do you love most about being at reality wrestling? right? I say, you know what's so great about pro wrestling? The crowd, the wrestlers, the locker room, the environment. Nobody cares, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like our crowd, come look at a reality wrestling crowd. It is so diverse. You're gonna have white, black, Hispanic, Asian. You're gonna have old, young, men, women, gay, straight, otherwise, all under the building in one roof. And do you know who cares? You know how many political conversations happen? None. They just want to see the good guys go beat up the bad guys.
You know,
They want to see Booker get thrown out of the building. You know what I mean?
I remember when we was doing the shows outside, right? And we was having a big show. Fans showed up like crazy, cars parked everywhere. And but it was in the voting season.
Oh, it was the vote raising awareness for
Yeah,
voting.
we were raising awareness for the vote. And we had a lot of Republicans out there. And we had a lot of Democrats out there. And I was
We did.
man, this thing could go nuts. So I said, I got to do something to make sure everybody's thinking about nothing but one thing. So I came out and I did a speech. And I said, this may be the last time you guys see reality wrestling. And the one thing I love is that we're all here together. You know, and we're not thinking about anything. It's not about anything other than wrestling, because if reality of wrestling is gone next month, nobody's gonna give a damn. You know? And everybody was like, yeah. Like that was the right speech. It was the right
I remember that.
I had to pull one out of the hat because I needed everybody to get along. That's all I needed. I just needed everybody to focus their mind on one thing that night. You can vote for whoever you want to vote for. Okay, that's what that was about, registering. You can vote. We're not telling you who to vote for, but
Right.
tonight we're not going to think about that. We're just going to have some fun. You can go vote next week or whatever. You know, so that's the beauty of, for me, just trying to bring people together. And I think that's what we, really need to think about and focus on in this life.
And that's what entertainment can do. Bring
I
people
think so.
together.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Stick around, guys. You're in the hall, man. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section and row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, Book.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Oh, yes. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Hey, guys, next week, got a special guest host will be stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Actually,
This week, right?
This week.
Yeah.
I'm tripping this week. Maven Huffman, my brother Maven Huffman. A lot of people didn't know Maven and I was brothers.
Right.
He's kind of like what's the black sheep of the family.
Like keto.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring him inside the Hall of Fame. And I need for Maven more than anything. Maven was one of those young guys coming into the business. Got in through Tough Enough, of course. But you hear all kinds of stories about me. you know, Maven's a perfect person to give a testimonial about what kind of person Booker T really was inside the locker room.
I want to hear it.
A veteran, you know, working with the young guys. We got to get guys like the Miz on the show. I need a testimonial from Miz as well, because I've heard a lot of rumor about me, just only from certain people. And I always thought, I really did, you know, when I hear like Rene Dupree and guys like that, I always thought I was one of the nicest guys, you know, in the locker room as far as treating guys a certain way, especially young guys coming up. Even though I made a comment about Rene Dupree and I thought he should have stepped up and fought for himself back then. And he said he was a kid. Oh, okay, I get it. But you know, if you're a kid, you should be, you know, on the playground, not in the wrestling business. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, right? Right. But having someone like Maven to actually speak on, you know, was I one of those? Did I kiss anybody's butt? Was I one of those guys that was passive? Did I not speak my mind? Was I a bully? Those type of things.
I'm going to press him on it.
Yeah. I need you.
I want to read the story. I want to know. You know what I mean? And then
need
you know what? For that matter, we should get somebody like Rene on the show. Why not have Rene in? We can confront him. We can really talk about it. Let's see what's real.
You know, I would love to get Rene on as well, because I think Rene knew I was a nice guy. I think Rene, I didn't stick up for him or anything when stuff. I did see everything that was going on with Rene Dupree. Everything, you know, from the Bob Holly story to, you know, the overseas trip from hell when they took his clothes and glued him to the wall and put his shoes in the shower. I was there, you know, when his bag came up missing, his computer. I was there, I witnessed, I saw all of it. And I didn't say anything because it's like a man's sport, you know what I mean? It's like a man's sport. It's like being in, you know, I hate to use this analogy, but like when you're in jail, right? You have like what they call fish, okay? Fish
Oh, like
scared.
the new.
The new guys come in, they're scared. They don't want to fight. And they come up and they go, hey man, you know, like I had a couple of people, hey, can I ride with you? And that means, you know, they're under my protection. Nobody's gonna mess with them. Just make sure the commissary is stocked on a weekly. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. That's what that would have made me feel like if I would have went to Renee. You know, I would have felt like he was a fish. I would have, hey, bro, you owe me part of your paycheck. I might have would have went back to that mentality. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I didn't, you know, involve myself in anybody's business when it came to protecting yourself, because it's a man's sport. That's the only reason. But outside of saying that about Rene Dupree, I don't think I've said anything negative about him.
Yeah.
Can you recall?
I can't recall. And you know, to be honest with you, I think Rene, from my memory, because I haven't gone back and watched any of his stuff in a long time. From my memory, though, I mean, Rene had a great look, right? Good looking kid, Jack.
Yes.
Had a good persona, like a good character. I remember the French tickler thing that he would do, like the little dance, right? And he had the poodle. And I remember I hated that guy. Like I hated him, which in a good way. Like I hated him in the way that he probably wanted me to hate him. And I don't know. And he was getting a push at the time. You know, maybe that was part of some of the antics. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in the locker room at the time.
Yeah. I just, you know.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. But I would love that Maven's coming on, because I was a big Maven fan. If you talk about somebody who probably had a difficult time coming in, I mean, hey, man, you just got in from a reality show. You know how many years I spent on the indies? You know how many years I spent in, you know, trying to work my way up the card, and you're coming in and getting this big push?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can see, I'm sure he didn't rub everyone the right way.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe not. I don't know. I never had a problem with Maven. I always thought he was a good kid, but that was my you know, my take on most guys that was coming in. If they were nice, you could tell if they were nice. If they had an attitude, you could tell they had an attitude. I mean, it's not that hard to you know, see the difference. Go ahead.
If I could ask you, talking about the tough enough people, right? You've already mentioned two of them, Maven and the Miz. Now, I never heard any stories about Maven rubbing people the wrong way. He may have. We can ask him when he's on here. I know Miz got, ribbed a little bit and, kind of coming in and,
Yeah.
what that, and he talks about it and he talk about changing in the public restrooms and stuff like that. But I've not heard great things about like somebody like a Daniel Puder, right? And I'm not trying to cast aspersions or talk negatively about him at all, but a lot of people, at least this is the rumor, he got unceremoniously chopped in that Royal Rumble match by, I think, you and Benoit and Guerrero and a whole bunch of people in there, and Holly.
I didn't
Because
just for the record, I didn't want to be a part of that.
did you chop him? I don't remember. You were in the match, right?
Maybe I didn't chop him. I don't think I did.
I don't remember. So scratch that. But I do remember Bob, Benoit, and Eddie.
Yeah,
for sure. I remember that for sure.
I might have got one in, but I don't remember.
Cover it up there just in case. Oh, that's a CYA. But my point was, I always heard that was because he came in with the wrong attitude. And that was kind of like, hey, kid, watch yourself. I don't know. What do you remember about Puder?
No, he did. He did have the wrong attitude. He didn't understand the business because he didn't come from the business. He was a guy that got in from Tough Enough, and he had a wrestling background. He was actually a pretty tough kid also. So, I mean, he was a guy that, had some credentials. But in the wrestling business, your credentials really don't mean a whole lot. You got to know how to do what I talk about all the time. And that's, if you can't make it in the locker room, you're not going to make it in the ring. If you don't know how to, become one of the boys, it is a frat house. It is a fraternity. It truly is. I mean, I can't see it anything. I can't, compare it to anything other than that, really, And I think in a fraternity, in a frat house, if you don't know how to get along, you're not going to stick around very long. It's just the way it is. And I think that's what Daniel Puder's problem was. He went out and he hooked Kurt Angle. They had a wrestling match, and he went out and hooked Kurt Angle and had him. And I was like, man, the hell this kid doing? He doesn't know that's Kurt Angle. You're supposed to get the old veteran a way out, make him look good. You don't come in doing stuff. So it was the little things that got Daniel Puder a lot of heat. Unlike The Miz. The Miz was a guy that he was gonna figure this thing out, because Miz was in for the long haul. He wasn't in to come in and play games or anything. Miz was coming in and he was gonna make this a business and a career. And to do that, you got to know how to play every role all the time. And I said once, and I said 1,000 times, they got to be able to trust you. The Miz, he earned that trust. He garnered that trust by being the guy that was going to be Johnny on the spot, no matter what people thought about him. So it is a difference in making in this business, and sometimes it's not about how much talent that you have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about, as you've always said, making it in the locker room before you can make it anywhere else. I mean, that's just the name of the game. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have Maven on the show. Maven Huffman, the long lost Huffman brother. Maybe y'all could reform. Maybe y'all could be the new Harlem Heat.
You know what? That's a good idea. Speaking of
Y'all, or maybe you, him, and Stevie can do something like a 6-man or so. I don't know. You know what I mean? The possibilities are endless.
Speaking of Harlem, we got a couple of minutes before we got to go to break. Speaking of Harlem Heat, Ahmed Johnson, he's been back in the league. No, and the thing is,
I don't know where this is going.
No. Ahmed Johnson, he's made a lot of claims that, and I just want to clear him up. He said, when he came into WCW, my brother and I, was having problems. It's the reason why my brother got him to come. My brother got him in to help him make some money. That was it. I saw Ahmed Johnson about 2 months ago at the airport. I was on my way to Florida, and I walked up and we made eye contact. He looked at me and he smiled, and I turned left and I went to the counter and I proceeded to get on the plane. I didn't even speak to him. I didn't even acknowledge him, because he's a notorious lying, low down piece of you know what. And that's the reason I did not even acknowledge him. Now, if Ahmed Johnson is doing conventions and stuff now, and if you want to, say something to me about this, because I'm sure he's going to hear about it, I'm not gonna ever acknowledge him because, like I say, he's a lying, low down scum. I'll never acknowledge him, but if he ever acknowledged me, I would definitely proceed. I just wanted to put that out there and say that this guy, like I say, he's a notorious liar. He said he played for the Dallas Cowboys. You know, he said he was in a gang. If he played for the Dallas Cowboys, anybody from 85 to 95, go look on any scroll. And I'm not going to even call him Ahmed Johnson anymore because that's not his name. His name is Tony Norris. Okay, that's what his name is. WWE own Ahmed Johnson. Okay, he's not Ahmed Johnson. He's Tony Norris. Like I said, if I ever see him, you know, we'll deal. If he wants to say something to me, but for me, for my part, I'm never going to acknowledge someone like him because I know what kind of person I am, and to hear someone like him disparage me. And let me go back one more time. You say that we didn't get along in the wrestling school that we went to. We both went to Ivan Putski's wrestling school, and I remember one day I did have a kerfuffle with Ahmed Johnson at the wrestling school because we were doing practice and I was doing hip tosses, arm drags, victory rolls, stuff like that. And he wanted to practice power bombs. And I said, look, bro, I don't practice power bombs. And he got hot about it. He got a little bit hot about it. And I think I checked him that day and told him, hey man, if you got a problem with me, I'll be outside waiting. I think my brother can attest to this. And he pretty much, you know, said, nah, we squashed it, whatnot. But I never had a problem with Ahmed Johnson. I never disliked Ahmed Johnson. And me personally, I don't even know where he's getting half the stuff that he's saying. But then again, I do because got to take a break. He's a notorious, lying, low down piece of you know what. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section and row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Gee, guarantee. Oh, yes. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Going down this Friday on our podcast Heat, big interview with Lexus King, 5 minutes of fame, man. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to get shut out. You're going to want to hear what that kid got to say. He's very, very fascinating, one should say.
I agree with that characterization. Very fascinating individual. I really enjoyed talking to him. And Lola Vice. If you didn't hear the interview with Lola Vice or see it, it's on our YouTube channel.
I just said, oh, yes. Lola Vice, man. Jalula Green, dog. But she's an athlete. That's what impressed me more about Lola Vice is her heart and work ethic and, you know, what she's gone through to get here. This is not something that, you know, just happened, you know, by osmosis or anything like that. She's a true athlete. And I really feel like she can go to that next level in the game just by what I talk to her. Just the look in her eyes tell me a whole lot about her.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I was actually really enjoyed talking to her and some of the insight that she gave about her story because as you said, like, you say characterize it Cholula Green. Obviously she's a beautiful girl. Anyone with two eyes can see that, right? But how many beautiful girls are there out there? There's a lot, right? What separates them from everyone else? What separates her from everyone else? And it's obviously her work ethic. And she's already proven so much in a short amount of time in NXT. I mean, as far as a week to week, you can see her progress and her work, and she's hungry to get better. You could just tell that in the interview we had with her. So I really did enjoy that. But and Lexis King, I know it's called 5 minutes of fame, but I'm just going to tell everybody right now, it was about 30 minutes of fame for Lexis King, but it was worth every minute of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely.
Really enjoyed talking to that guy. There was a lot that went down in the world of wrestling book. I know that we have been talking about a couple of things, but we do have super chats flying off the shelves. And I should say, this is your last day to enter into the super chat contest. We're going to announce, I believe we said next Thursday or Monday. Next Thursday. Thursday, we're going to announce exactly who won the super chat contest. Who's going to get an all expenses paid vacation to Houston, Texas. Yeah. The future entertainment capital of the world, and to see reality of wrestling live and in living color for Christmas chaos. But should we get to some of the super chats? You want to jump into them?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
We'll jump into them. I'm sure.
You want to talk about Ahmed Johnson?
I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that somewhere in there. So,
just a load out. Dirty.
Never mind. Let me not stir the pot.
Go ahead.
No. I've looked into the Dallas Cowboy thing, and I've personally looked into it. And I will tell you this: I know a lot of wrestling journalists who've looked into it. People who are credible names. I won't say who, but that have reached out to me saying, "Do you know anything about him in Dallas Cowboy?" I can't find anything.
Look up his military record.
Oh, was he in the service?
I think he said he was in special ops. Something like that.
Well,
no, I'm just saying.
Look, people say things. Look, he's a wrestler. He embellishes. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. These are stories that was before wrestling, though. Yeah, I've been hearing these stories for a long time.
Well, see, this is from Wikipedia. Should I read the Wikipedia or should we not go into this?
Read it.
Okay, I'm off of your direction. I'm going to read it. It says, while attending high school, he performed well at American football, basketball, amateur wrestling, track and field. According to Norris, he joined the United States Army, but was later discharged due to striking his captain over viewing his orders as kind of cowardly. What does that mean?
Okay.
He hit the guy in charge?
Dishonorable discharge. Okay, move on.
Well, I don't see anything here. Early career talks about wrestling, nation domination.
Dallas Cowboys on there.
I don't see anything at the Dallas Cowboys. It did say he went to college and got a degree in criminology after he retired.
Look. Tony Norris never played for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a blatant lie, and I just want to put it out there. Just because when people say things, they need to be able to back it up. I never played football, all right? I never played for the Dallas Cowboys, all right? Everything's out there that I've done, you pretty much know about it. This is the truth. Go ahead.
Wait, well, this is the best thing I just found out about Ahmed Johnson. He was in Too Legit, the MC Hammer story. He played Suge Knight.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
That's a true story.
What?
Yeah.
I've never seen this.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. Is it
No, it was a film. Yeah.
Like a short film or like a TV made for TV movie or something?
I don't think it made to TV or anything. I think it was like video. Went to the video store, like one of those types.
Oh, it was like direct to video.
Yeah. I don't want to downplay it or anything like that, but
it also says, since retiring, Norris began working for Booker T and Stevie Ray's wrestling school. Did he work at the school?
That's not true.
It's on Wikipedia. Who knows about Wikipedia?
Well, it says Booker T and Stevie Ray's wrestling school. That's not even true.
Right. Well, that's true. Okay. So, there's some inaccuracies, but you know what? Look, I don't know the man from Adam.
Well, I do.
You do, and you can attest to his character.
Since I was 25 years old.
So you've known him for more than half your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And did and then in how long was he in WCW?
About 6 months.
About 6 months.
Yeah.
Now,
And
did you have any heat with him when he was in WCW?
well, no, I did not. I had no heat with him in WCW, but he said he tried to sabotage my career in WCW by going out and having a match with me and purposely going out and trying to make the match as bad as he possibly could because he knew WCW was about to give me a push. And I was like, wow, if that ain't low down, if that ain't the worst thing you could ever think about wanting to do is sabotage another man's push because of your inadequacies and being overweight and your career just didn't work out. Because there's a reason why you got let go of WWE, or he say he quit. There's a reason why you got let go at WCW. I don't know if he quit or not, okay? But it's a reason why. It's a reason why it's not a whole lot of people have a whole lot of good things to say about Tony Norris. It's a reason why that just about every wrestler that you talk to is going to say almost the exact same thing verbatim. It's a reason why, and that is not going to happen with me, other than with people like, Ahmed Johnson saying negative things about me. That's why I just don't get it. Why another brother want to try to bring another brother down? And I hate looking at it that way, but that's normally the way it is.
Well, yeah, I just, and again, I'm not trying to stir the pot here, but I just wanted to see if there was any recent comments that Ahmed might have made, about what you were just discussing. The only story I found is from a month ago where he discusses why he has heat with D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, and Booker T. Did you see this article?
I think I did.
Yeah. To me, like if you got heat with multiple people, now I've met D'Lo Brown, nice guy. I've met Mark, huh?
I love D'Lo.
D'Lo great. I mean, I will every now and then still send D'Lo a message about basketball. Mark Henry, we just had on the show, phenomenal individual. I don't really hear anybody ever say anything bad about.
I love Mark Henry.
Mark Henry.
And the thing is, Mark and I, we even when he came on the show, we didn't agree on everything.
Sure, we all are two different people.
But him and I love Mark Henry.
Mark Henry's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the best. And then it's his heat with you. And again, another thing, I don't really hear a lot of people have opposition to you either. So like, look, I'm doing this objectively. I'm talking about. So if I never hear anybody say anything bad about D'Lo or Mark or Booker, and you being Ahmed says he's got issues with all three, that's when I start thinking like, well, are they the problem?
Everybody's lying except you.
I'm just asking. Like again, I'm not stirring the pot. I'm just saying, like, you got a problem with everybody. So, is it them, or is it is it the other way around? I don't know. I'm just asking. It's just strange. So, what do you really think the issue is? Why do you think he has so much beef with people and with you?
You know what I really think it's got to be jealousy of how I excelled in my career. And it was like that from day one at the wrestling school. I was always the best guy in the school. I was always the guy that was excelling and going out and thinking about from a psychology perspective. I was thinking about being a worker. I was thinking about this being my profession. I was thinking about this being my job. This thing with wrestling, it wasn't a game for me. It wasn't something that I was trying to be better than anyone else at, other than wanting to be the best at it all the time in the ring. But it wasn't about being better than anyone else as a person or anything like that. I never held grudges or anything like that. But I think it's just jealousy of me being a guy who, excels, 6-time world champion, 14, 15-time tag team champion, 6-time television champion. I've been champion my whole wrestling career. Been
Hall of Fame twice.
Hall of Fame twice. And I think that's got a lot to do with it. And I would suggest someone like Ahmed Johnson quit talking about me, because when I see him talking, he's talking from a little room, in his apartment somewhere. I got a big ass house. I got a wife and kids. I got a business, reality of wrestling. I'm on WWE television on a weekly basis. I'm still relevant. I'm still working. You need to be thinking about paying the rent and keeping a roof over your head, trying to stay under 350 pounds and live. That's my suggestion to Ahmed Johnson. I know he's out there, and I know you're going to hear this.
You're talking that talk.
But like I say, God has blessed me to be where I am today because I'm a good person. That's all.
But you're also, I mean, yeah, you say you're a good person, and again, I don't know you to have beef with anybody. I mean, I've known you now for 11 years, 12 years, something like that. I've never known you to have beef with anybody. And whenever we're at the shows or I'm at Mania, people are always like, "Oh man, I love Book. Book's the best. Love Book." Oh,
Everybody owe me a favor.
Oh, I owe Book one. I gotta.
Everybody owe me a favor. I don't. You're exactly right. I've never had heat with anyone in this business because I've never, I don't make friends a whole lot really easy. You know what I mean? Everybody, I always try to look at it as a business associate, co-worker. Treat them the same way you want to be treated. Never say anything in front of them that you really don't want them to hear. That type of stuff. Make sure you keep a low profile all the time. So I think for me, out overseas tours, we laughing. I want to make everybody happy. But the times you didn't see me happy, it was a problem. But it may not have been a problem with you. It may have been a problem with the company or something like that. But like you said,
or you might have had an issue in the moment with somebody, and that's fine.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean you have a heat with them.
No. Even I can say this right now. People have heard about Batista and I had disagreement.
Sure.
And if I saw Batista tomorrow, I would go up to him and hug him and say, "What's up, dog? How you doing, man? Man, you killing it." That's what I would do. And the thing is, I'm not just saying that. I know that's what I would. I don't know what he would do, but I think he would as well. I think he know that him and I had a disagreement, and we had a lot of testosterone, and it perhaps may have been. I know he wanted, the spot, that I had held, and that's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? And there was some beef going back and forth. But if I saw him today, I would say, "Man, what's going on?" I don't think I would think about going back and throwing hands. I wouldn't think about, "Hey man, you still want to fight?" You know what I mean? It's just I'm too old for that. We got to take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Hey man, I didn't expect to talk about Ahmed Johnson.
I didn't.
Okay, that it's just something I felt like I had to get off my chest more than anything because I don't know. Like you say, I don't have beef with too many people. When I hear someone say that, the reason that I felt the way I did about him because he was there for my brother when I was in prison and I wasn't. That's just that's a falsehood. That's a lie. That's making up something. That means you are formulating the thoughts that's in my head and the way I feel.
Right.
No way you could do something like that,
Sure.
especially if you and I haven't talked about something like that. But for him to try to create beef between my brother and I, that just goes to show that this guy's a low down lying, notorious lying piece of you know what. That's what it is. It's no way around that,
But we wish him well.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
We do have super chats. I also want to shout out though to all of our sponsors. And I try to make sure that, I use the sponsors so that we're not just talking about stuff, right? You use AG1 Everyday Book. I use the AG1. I use the Game Time. Like Sunday was literally like the sponsored Hall of Fame sponsored day for me, right? I started the day off with the AG1, mixed it all up, made it feel good. You know what I mean? I have, my Miracle Made sheets, that I slept in all night and it felt nice and right. I went on the Game Time app and I got the best deal for the Chris Tucker tickets. And I was really feeling the vibe. And, I screwed up though, because I took the Bluetooth during the concert, I didn't time it right. The time release wasn't right on it. You know what I mean? And it was the wrong time to be feeling the way I was feeling. I was supposed to be laughing, bro.
Right before the action go down, man. It kicks in immediately. I tried it before,
So I'm sitting there, my cheeks are getting rosier than normal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling. I'm laughing at one thing, and I'm feeling a whole different one. I didn't know what was going on.
I'm gonna tell you though, I ain't gonna lie. The Miracle Made sheets, they're off the chain.
They're dope.
They talk about 4 or 5 star hotel. I'm gonna tell you, I stay in a lot of 4 or 5 star hotels, and I'm gonna tell you, those sheets are feeling real good at nighttime. So I'm loving it. I want to thank those guys for sending a sample over to us. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Shout out to all the sponsors, all the sponsors, just know when to use them. That's all I'm saying. Just know when to use them. Chris Tucker was the only one who could stand up during that show. Let me tell you, I couldn't move, I was stuck where I was. But anyway, we have our super chats to get to. Why don't we go ahead and get to them? This is our first one of the day. This one comes from Kevin Miller. Ever know why the WrestleMania 22 poster was Cena giving you a bulldog? It was a very odd WrestleMania poster, but it was cool in the same sense.
Hey,
you were on the WrestleMania poster.
I'll take any little bone I can get. It's not about, you're not going to always be doing the moves. Sometimes you got to be taking them. Just part of the game. I always talk about, you're not going to always be at the top of the card all the time. It's like a revolving door. It's always moving. It's very, very fluid. Business. If you ever think get boggled down when you're not, in the middle of something, you're fooling yourself as far as what this thing really, really truly is. And that's why I always talk about the job. It's a job. It really is. It's a job. Sometimes you come to the job and some days are better than others.
Yeah, 100%. But you were on the poster. It's pretty cool. That was the WrestleMania you and Sharmell wrestled together at. So kind of special in a lot of ways. Elijah Vin, hey, Booker and Brad, I just want to ask a question here. I want to know why all these dirt sheets keep trying to bring up CM Punk and WWE so much, and why do people believe them? It's like ridiculous. Yes, CM Punk back in the rumor mill again. Now there's rumors that he's going to be in WWE, and then he's going to be in TNA, and he's going here.
Back in AEW.
Might be back in AEW. I saw that too.
The thing is if CM Punk got anything to do with this as far as, man, and working with some of these guys and say, hey, man, put out something for me. I can see that. I can see CM Punk wanting to find his way back into the WWE. I can see that. We talking about it right now. You guys are, seeing the dirt sheets, and you're talking about it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, also, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm not gonna put it past WWE hiring him back. I don't know. I can't say, but I do know that just about everybody that's left WWE has come back, no matter what problems they've had. Even the Ultimate Warrior, which I don't think anybody thought the Ultimate Warrior would come back because he was more hated than Ahmed Johnson.
This one's coming in from
the only person who didn't come back, Ahmed Johnson, because he's a low down, notorious lying piece of what.
Yo, I think Ahmed lives in the city. You know what I mean? He might roll up on the doorstep here, boy.
Literally, roll up.
I walked right into that one. Was watching your 04 Survivor Series match with JBL, and I got to say, that's an underrated match.
Hell yeah.
Two grown men going at it, very hard hitting. What's that clothesline from hell feel like?
I'll tell you right now, clothesline from hell, not that bad. JBL is a pro. He's a consummate pro. That was a hell of a match for the World Heavyweight Championship. I came out on the losing end. That's just part of the game. But that was one of my favorite matches because John and I, we came from the same spot down the Global Wrestling Federation. John and I, my first trip to Japan, my first trip to Korea was with JBL, tag teaming in Korea together. Yeah. So that was him and I. We knew exactly what being out in the middle of that squared circle was all about, man. And it wasn't about winning and losing for him and I. It was about going out there and giving the fans an ultimate rush. So I appreciate you giving that match some props because don't too many people don't too many people talk about the matches that I've had. They always talk about the moments. So I appreciate that.
Okay, our next one here because we have a ton. Cena lost. Yes, he did at the Riyadh show, Crown Jewel. But his after the bell interview this morning says he's not done. So what do you think of him being a mentor, maybe to Austin Theory? That would be good.
No, man. I said John Cena going over there was kind of like, the old dog, teaching the young dogs a few tricks. But it was a mentoring session as well. But I do see John Cena as being one of those generals that could teach these guys so much. But it's going to be up to these young guys to be open to, listen to John and understand what he's really bringing to these guys as far as knowledge, as far as experience, as far as what it takes to make it to that next level and beyond. John Cena's done that. But John Cena was one of the best learners. He was one of the best students of this game that I've ever seen. And I can say that once, I say it 1,000 times. This kid, when I worked with him, all he did was listen and perform. That's all he did. And he picked it up, and now he's in that same position. So, yeah, he can be a hell of a mentor.
Yeah, well, he's not done. This next super chat, I'm just going to preface by saying it might be my favorite super chat we've ever gotten. Comes from Repause Order. It says, never forget, what did Madonna need a big ass for?
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe she want to try to hit it and quit it. Try to shake it and make it clap. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Sometimes you see that stuff going down on the internet, you want to try it. You know what I mean? Man, that looks like that's fun. It sounds good. But mine is too small. I need some, maybe that's it. I don't know.
What Madonna need a big ass for?
I'm serious, man. Making it clap is a big thing these days. They know men like that too, because you see these videos and you hear the brother, can you make it clap? And they, you getting some blue chew.
But take it right before. Alex Costantino says, did you ever have any shoot moments in the ring or seen any from the apron? Not receipts, but two dudes legit fighting out their problems.
Just Rene Dupree and Bob Holly. That's the only time I ever saw it in the ring. Okay. That's the only time I've ever seen it, spill out of the ring to the back dressing room, out to the outside. But for me, I've never been in any moments in the ring where I've actually had to have real combat with someone on television or at a house show, just because it wasn't the right place to actually do something like that. A real fight looks, between two guys that are not professional fighters, it looks awful. It doesn't look great. So for me, if I had a problem with someone, even if they stiff me in the ring, I'm going to handle it in the back. I'm going to wait till I get back in the back and, handle whatever I have to handle, but never on camera, never in the ring in front of the fans.
Yeah. I think we have time for, no, I think we got to go to break, huh?
We got time for one more.
Okay, one more. This is from Kelly Toenail, who says, I think I'm gone. I have to put on my vertical zebra shirt because Promise was robbed of her 3 times diamond belt, and the boat commentary is batting 1,000. Well, thank you for that, Kelly. Yeah, Promise, she should have won that one, book.
Hey, man.
They did her wrong.
Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. That's just the way the old mop flop. That's the name of the game. You never can go out and cry over spilt milk, and think about looking through life through the rear view. No, you can't do that. You got to think about what's next, and look at it as an experience more than anything.
All right. Well, hey, we got more super chats to go through, a lot more.
Stick around, y'all. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
My name is Nathan Wasser, and I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I came down here to Reality of Wrestling to improve my training and get myself more experience learning from the absolute best. It's intense. It's hard. You got to leave your ego at the door and come in with an open mind. The way they do stuff here is the next level. But if you do that, you'll end up bettering yourself in the end, and you'll improve, and you'll be able to work anywhere.
Nathan, he's an unbelievably awesome student. I'll tell you why, right? For a few reasons. Number one, the man packed up all the way from the Great White North to move down here to the U.S. to train because he wanted to learn from one of the best. But what's even more impressive, on top of the fact that he takes care of his body, he works hard, is the fact that he was trained by a very reputable trainer and yet still comes down here humble, hungry, ready to work and ready to learn, and not coming in here acting like he knows everything or that he's too rigid in his ways.
Booker's knowledge will help you get to whatever goals you want to do if you want to be a big star in this industry. My end goal is to be in WWE. Coming down here to Reality of Wrestling, I feel is the best opportunity for me to get there, so I'm going to do whatever it takes. I can promise you, when you come to Reality of Wrestling, it will change your life. You will not regret it.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We're just taking a few super chats right now, so let's just keep this thing rolling, dog.
All right, this is our last segment. We got a lot to get through. So look, we're gonna go to Alex Costantino. This is it, man. This is it.
Man, quick.
Wrapping it up. Remember you said that kid is big. That kid was big enough to be in the Arnold Classic. That was putting Renee over. That's what you said one time about
I
Renee.
did say that. That's why I felt like, sticking up for someone like that wouldn't have did him any favors. But maybe I should have, pulled him aside and told him, hey, man, you need to fight. And maybe I did. I think Rene Dupree was worried about if he did fight back, he would get fired just because he was in not in a position to where he felt like he could have fought back at that stage of the game because he was a kid. He was young to the business. So, yeah, I get that. I get that. Maybe I was a little hard on him, but I still hold true to what I said as far as I felt like that kid should have just fought back one time. All those problems would have went away. Just one fight. And I say that because of Ray Gray, kid who used to bully me in elementary school. Beat the hell out of him one time.
That was it.
Never wanted my sandwiches ever again after that.
Amen. This is the way it bees like that. M Music said, "What's up, Booker and Brad? My fear came true on Saturday. Logan Paul is the United States champion. Thoughts? What do you think, BT?"
I'm not surprised. The Maverick guy that's work from multiple perspectives. He can go out and perform inside a wrestling ring. I think he can go out and box. I think he even got a little MMA in his background, as well as he's one of the biggest podcasters I think out there ever.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, YouTubers. My bad. So yeah, this guy's he's got it going on. So I see the WWE being able to use this kid in so many different ways, as well as Rey Mysterio has had a hell of a run. And Logan Paul. I'm not surprised him winning that match because he is pretty good at what he does.
He's damn good, man. There was even one spot that I saw where it looked like Ray, I don't know if he over accelerated or didn't get enough on the springboard, because it looked like he was doing this, moonsault off the rope, and it looked like he didn't get enough spin on it. And I mean, his head was going straight for the mat, right? And this is one of the moonsault where the guy takes it standing up, and Logan dips down last second and catches Ray on his shoulder, right? And when I saw that, I said, man, this kid's smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he saw something happening and he knew what to do.
Yeah.
90% of guys would just stood there.
Yeah.
Let the spot come to him.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I give Logan Paul so much credit for being a guy that loves this, but loves it enough to go out there and perform at a high level and do it right. I give him a lot of credit.
And people like to hate on him and his brother. And I know Logan, people like to hate on him for that, one big mistake he made in the past or what have you. But like, look, man, that was so long ago. People grow, people live, they make mistakes when they're younger. We can't judge them forever on it. So I'm a fan of his, man. I'm a fan of what he's done in this business. I can't speak to too much of what he does outside. I don't pay attention to it, but
I think Logan and Jake, they've done a lot of good work as far as showing the boxing world that they don't need the promotion behind them to actually be able to go out there and make money. They can figure this thing out themselves. They can be their own promoters. That's what they've taught a lot of these boxers out there that was just so afraid to step out on their own. So I give those guys a lot of credit.
Yeah, man, 100%. Let's move on here, though. Let's see. Next one is Big Breezo. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm going out of order. It's from SS28. First time I think I remember seeing this name. They moved too fast with LA Knight. He should have continued the heat with Mysterio and taken his title as a star. Now, what does LA Knight do? LA Knight took the loss against Roman in Riyadh. Is this it for LA Knight?
It's a revolving door. I just said that a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
Roman, they obviously got some plans with Roman. I don't know what it is. LA Knight not winning in Riyadh. He still won. That's another story. I just don't look at it as him, being put at the back of the line or anything. That's just not the way the wrestling business goes. And I think the fans are gonna do the same thing when LA Knight come out on Monday Night Raw tonight, which is pop. Yeah, that's all. That's all they're gonna keep rolling.
They got to keep the ball rolling, man. Big Breezo says, I love when Uncle Book gives us game we can apply to real life, real heavyweight champ.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Life is life. The hardest thing you're ever going to deal with in life is life. So strap your boots on tight every day and walk out there in the world and get it done, because it ain't about to get no easier. And I say that. I say that because I got in the gym today, like about, 3 o'clock, 3 to 4:30, something like that. Man, it was the hardest day working out that I've had in a long time, man. I was like, God, man, this hurts. Everything hurts, but just got to push yourself every day.
Every day, man. Knowing it's not going to get easier.
No.
Knowing you still got to get up. Sugar Shay. What's up, Sugar Shay? How did you and Scott Steiner end up doing an episode of Charmed?
We got hired. No, we got hired for the spot. I remember going to LA and they looked at us and they, yeah, you guys be great for the spot. And it was pretty much that simple. Buff Bagwell was in there as well. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
I remember that.
Yeah, Buff was in. He was in that as well. Yeah, it was a great moment for me to have a moment with Alyssa Milano, and she actually gave me some really good props after the scene, and she was telling me, I could do the Hollywood thing. She was like, man, you really. So I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Coming from someone like Alyssa Milano. So yeah, I had a great time.
And having to be on the Charm set and just you have to spend time around Alyssa Milano, not a bad day at the office either, right?
Yeah.
Scotty, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's code for the Queen could be listening. No. Alex Cosentino says it's a reflection on his failed career. He was relevant for about 30 minutes 25 years ago. Then he showed up in WCW looking like a damn blimp.
Oh, are we talking about Ahmed Johnson?
I think that he's talking about Ahmed.
Yes, you know what? That's a perfect description, of someone who could have been, great. Someone who could have had a lasting legacy in this business and went down as, one of the true greats, one of the Hall of Famers of the business. But I think he got in his own way and believed in his own hype more than anything. I think that was Ahmed Johnson's, Tony Norris's biggest problem.
There you go.
Because he's a low down, notorious lying piece of you-know-what as well.
You're really getting that over. I think Booker's going to wear a T-shirt next time. Wrestling History with Alex says, question for Booker. Will you love to see a faction between Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Shotzi on SmackDown?
Oh, man, I never really thought about that.
Me neither.
That little trifecta right there, but
Kind of cool.
I don't know if Scarlett gonna need any help with Karrion. I don't know how that's gonna play out with Shotzi being a part of that. I don't know. I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? I don't see that happening at all. But you never know. What?
Shotzi and Scarlett make a great duo. I like them together.
They make a great duo, but with Karrion,
Yeah.
I don't think Karrion Kross needs two women with him because he's not the lover type.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Like the character.
When you got two women with you, bro, you got to have a whole hell of a lot of blue chew. Just say that.
Certain swagger about you. Yeah. Certain something. This next one is from BJ6. How did y'all get the name Harlem Heat instead of Houston Heat? Love you, big dog.
It was the Chicago Heat.
Chi-Town Heat, right?
Yeah, Chi-Town Heat. But we went through a rare thing, but I think we convinced Dusty on Harlem Heat. Houston Heat sounded too country. Like we would have to have cowboy hats, cowboy boots, talk with a Texas accent. And that wasn't happening, okay? So Harlem sound so much tougher than Houston. It has such a better ring to it, Harlem Heat. It sounded hot, even though it get real cold in Harlem. But yeah, that's how it happened.
No, it sounded good. I mean, Harlem Heat's it's one of those classic names. It's up there and one of the best wrestling names of all time. New South Wrestling just dropped 50 on us, so we appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, dog.
Yeah, big shout out. Got a couple more here before we wrap things up. Big Breezo, Book, is the ring sacred to you? Deep respect for all the pro wrestlers because I love wrestling.
Yes, it is. It really is. Every time I got in the ring, I felt a certain sense of, combat gladiator. That's why you're never going to see me do ha-ha in the ring. You never saw me play around in the ring. Take it for granted that the fans, that paid their hard-earned money and me not suspending that disbelief for a second, that they were there watching me it was very, very important. Every time it was very, very important. So yeah, I'm like Gunther when it comes to that. I'm not one of these guys that's just going to go out there and do something just for the hell of it because the ring is sacred.
Ring is sacred. This one comes from two more. This one comes from Last Century Comics. If Brad borrowed the time machine and fired up the flux capacitor for a trip back in time, what historical match would you go watch in person from the front row? I feel like it's a cop-out answer, book, but I want to see the Dragon and Macho, or any of the Dragon and Rick. If I could go back and see it, that's the ones I would want to see. What about you?
Steamboat Savage, man. If I could see that up close, live, in person. And the reason I say that, because that's the match that sparked my flame. It's the match that made me want to do it. It's the match that made me want to be the best at it. Then to be able to get a chance to work with, a guy like Steamboat and Savage. Oh my God, man. What a hell of a career I've had. And Ric Flair.
Woo! Shout out to Rick.
All those guys, man. All of them.
I still need some of that woo energy, man. He needs to send a case to the Hall of Fame. Come on, man.
I'll talk to him about it.
Talk to him. Get it going. I like me a good energy drink. Our last one is from Mel Manchild Jones. James Harden or Ahmed Johnson?
I take James Harden all day long. At least he's not a low down.
You're not gonna finish it?
Notorious lying piece of you know what. That's why.
Notorious kind of sounds like no Tony Norris.
Well, I know he's notorious for lying, all right? And I know he's a no good piece of you know what. And we got to take him out of here, man.
We got to get out of here.
We got to get out of here.
It's a wrap.
We wrapping it up. Oh, just. Hey, man. We appreciate y'all for stepping inside the Hall of Fame.
You're going to get me run up on.
Rolled up home. Stick around, guys, for next week. Thursday. Make sure y'all come in and stick around with us, because we have Maven, special guest host, inside the Hall of Fame all day. So make sure y'all check us out. But right now, Bradley, I appreciate you. All you super chatters, we love you. But right now, we out of here. Peace.